got an update for NVDA. Now, NVDA is a stock I posted about, and that especially on this day, the stock happened to remain. It wouldn't break down and it wouldn't break up, so it remained in a chop zone. And I made a plan where it didn't confirm. Now, it did confirm this plan today. However, I never bothered with this entry point. As I wanted the day to complete. Okay, and another problem with the stock is it's close to being oversold. Okay, but the fact of the matter is this stock here is still set up now I misspelled the targets, but it's still set up for lower prices. So let's talk about this stock and the options, and it could be good. Again, I want to talk about this confirmation because this is a little bit tricky. There is a lot of It's one of those things where this stock is really trending to be lower, but I've seen these type of things where they don't really move much, that this could come back and remain in the chop zone. So the confirmation will be key, and I want to talk about that, okay? Because going short or buying puts is a little bit different than my long setups. In other words, these things could just continually, this could confirm later on in the day. So let's talk about this in case it does want to confirm. It's just a lot of, look at the low targets are 90 to 88, and of course I've also talked about this can go and test the 200-day moving average and even lower. All right. So let's talk about this this plan here. So NVDA is back to a setup for lower prices. Targets are 90 to 88 on the low end, to 80 on the higher end of the drop, so of the fall. High end of the fall is possible. The April 21 95 puts could be used. All right, so what do I want to happen here? Well, I think, in my opinion, NVDA, these are sometimes trickeries. It's very negative, this thing. I mean, this looks perfectly negative, but there's certain supports to this stock that could still flip this guy. And I like to see continuous weakness. And then another problem is the stock is near oversold, and that could be why we need more time. Okay, so this is an easy thing, but I'm gonna be watching this anyways tomorrow because I do like BABA and TSLA. But maybe Tesla doesn't want to confirm it, and NVIDIA might look really solid. And again, we need the action. Let's talk about the confirmation here. So NVDA needs to break below 97 on some good action volume. Okay, and I want to see this. And good action volume is 2 million on a 10-minute chart. And I believe that if we get that strong action volume as they crack, now we don't want an open below 97. What we want to do is somehow, for example, I'm going to explain the opening prices of pivot points. So for example, let's say NVIDIA opens up at 97.50 or even 97, but decides from the opening price in the first 10 minutes bounces to 90, 97.5. Well, you're going to want to wait for NVIDIA to smash through the 97 area from the opening pivot. So the opening pivot is necessary because this stock could want to open lower and try to pop up again. And this thing is that, yeah, they could go into resistance. At the same time, do they really want to keep following? Because this stock, in my opinion, should keep following lower. I mean, it's been negative for a long time. If you want to look at the moving average low, you can see that every time they pop to that point, it's looking really good. I mean, this thing looks solid. At the same time, they could stop. Okay, so the entry here is going to be key, and I'm trying to explain it. So as you can see, strong volumes 2 million. So for example, if we don't get the volume or the opening pivot is all wrong, okay, you're going to want to watch this base below 97 and look for weakness towards 96.5 to even 96. It really doesn't matter because I'm going to show you the nice thing about these 95 puts is they're very inexpensive, but they can make a lot of money, especially if this was just a fall to 90. And even if you had to pay in the 96 area for proper confirmation, it won't matter. So I want to make it clear. So listen carefully to what I said in this update, because I talk about pivot points, and that's what I'll be watching as well before entering this, because I know this looks really bearish. I've known this, but they playing games here that I've seen this type of action where they look so solid. But I'll tell you, if we can confirm properly, it's going. All right, people. So here we are at the Yahoo Finance, and NVIDIA is down today. at 97.77 for April the 10th at 256. Now we're going to look at the April 21. That's about 2 weeks out. And these are really good to use, in my opinion. And we're going to go look at the puts. So here's the puts, okay? And we're going to go look and see what reference the puts. So you can see that the 95 puts, excuse me, this, you can see that. Look at this. What's interesting about this is look at the open interest, even at the 90. Look at the open interest here, right? A lot of bearishness on the options, of course, in the price as well. But you see these 95. This is a sweet spot. These could probably average about $1.30 to $1.40 on proper confirmation. At the same time, if this was to get into the money, they could do about 200 to 300% gains. And the max Dow draw, and I think that the risk is, you could risk 50% of the option. For example, let's say you buy 5 options in NVDA, and those 5 options are going to cost you an average of, we'll say, $700. A 50% hit on $700 would be a $350 loss. However, if this was to go and make 200% gains or 300% gains, that $700 could make you $2,100. And for an example, or $1,400 if it depends on, or $700 depends if it's 100% gain. So that's the kind of thing, right? At the same time, if you don't like the action, one could, even take a 20-30% hit on the option. Because the nice thing about these NVIDIA options, and that's a scenario that's possible, because this stock is tricky. But as I said, there's a lot of resistance, and if this wants to confirm, it's probably going to go lower, and you want to hold your options unless you see something go really wrong. But anyways, as a reference point, the 95 puts are 103 right now. Okay, and you see there's a lot of trading happening here. They traded the most out of even out of the 98s. Even they traded just a little bit less than the hundreds, but of course you see the 100 puts, a lot of open interest on this. Okay, but the sweet spot here is the 95. You can make a lot of money, and the risk is low using these options. All right, people. If you haven't subscribed, I would subscribe to my YouTube channel, Power Target Trades, where you can see a lot of my plans, and I make a lot of updates. As you can see that here, it's a great reference to see things, because it could be stuff you might like that you may not be able to, and it's a nice way to see it here. It's very well organized. You can really look at stuff at your leisure. See the center Power Trigger Trade is going to appear here in a circle format. Simply click on it, and it's going to give you an easy way to subscribe. So there you have it, people, a great update for NVDA. Thanks for listening. Like the video.